Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have one more very cool deck profile for you guys from the Extravaganze. I am here with Kevin Brandt.
What's up? How we doing?
So Kevin, we have known each other for quite a while and you live in the Netherlands now. And you participated. I actually beat you round one, didn't I? The giant card.
It kicked my ass because I know how your deck works.
Yeah, and of course everyone on the channel knows this. Adamancipator has been featured on my channel plenty of times, so I know exactly what to do. But you still managed to surprise me a lot, actually. Because you have a very, very interesting build.
Yeah, I kind of surprised myself as well, not gonna lie. Yeah, I just quickly explain why this is different, and that's because it is a pure version, which is kind of mid-range. It doesn't really combo that much. It's more of a grind aspect to it.
Yeah, and you also play like floodgates and multiple back row cards as well. Which I
Yes,
definitely
sir.
didn't see coming, and it really stopped me. If I hadn't top decked out, then I would have just lost at the moment because no, you're playing some spicy
Yeah.
cards. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go straight into it.
All right, let's go straight to the spice. We got the spicy option of 3 spicy seekers, researchers, and analyzers. Yeah, let's not pretend like these are spicy. I'm just gonna go skip right through
Controversial,
them.
yeah.
Is my choice of what most people think are bad cards, and these are the crystals. Now, I have a lot of reasons for playing these.
You play all of them.
All of them, every single one of them. Now, the thing about this deck is that if it goes first, it kind of sets up a kind of mediocre first board. So it doesn't do like Savage and Herald and all that stuff that you have to get Dark Ruler to Oblivion. But it plays a very safe approach. Kind of make a lot the Leonite synchro.
Mm-hmm.
And what you basically do is that you build resources for turn 3. So in other words, you actually have a lot of cards in your hand to be able to explode the turn after. And that's where these come in, because one thing is that their attributes are relevant because all the Adamancipator synchros have these other effects that people don't really know of. Everyone knows the spell and trap negate of drag, guys, so we're not going to talk about that. But the fire one is pretty good because Leonite has the ability that if I have a fire engrave, I can basically monster reborn a rock. So what he mostly is used for is to recycle the Quackmere Guardian that attributed.
Yeah, does that become quick play as well, or?
Yes, it is, but okay. It's only used in opponent's turn.
Yeah, so if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can negate it with Guardian and then surprise them with the Leonite by summoning Guardian back.
Exactly. And also what he's used for is that I usually add, that's what I meant by building resources for the next turn, because then it uses effects to add a Science, one of the other Adamancipator cards, and I also play some other Adamancipator spell and traps, which have really good effects. So that's kind of the gist of it.
There are other Adamancipator spell and traps.
Surprise, you'll be shook when you hear about them. Also, these guys have some pretty solid graveyard effects, because all of these have the additional effect that when they're in graveyard, I can return to the top of the deck, along with the respective synchro back to the extra deck. And basically, then I can always make sure that I get the correct hits with the Adamancipator cards. That's exactly how you then explode on turn 3, because then you basically always hit correctly. When these guys are summoned, I can then stack additional cards. Like this one stacks Adamancipator cards, I can use it to stack Signs, and that's not a hard once per turn.
Okay.
This one stacks any rocks, so I can, for example, stack a Quackmere Guardian with this one. So you just keep stacking, and that's how you keep. And that's what I mean by playing in turn 3, because you just basically send these to the grave. As your opponents, usually.
Almost like this was the intended way to play the deck.
Actually, yeah, I'm actually trying to just be a good boy to Konami, right?
Yeah.
Usually you just end on 1 or 2 negates, like a Leonite and a Guardian is pretty standard. And of course, I do play traps, as you will see later, and hand traps, which are additional forms. And the reason I do this is because I feel like the combo version is very susceptible to hand traps now that we don't have Block Dragon and now that we don't have Link Cross. So I wanted to play something that didn't really get hit by hand traps. Because too often I felt like I would just have to end my turn right then and there, and then I wouldn't have any comeback potential. This deck doesn't mind getting hand trapped because you got the traps as a backup, and you also have what you call it,
Recursion.
also like build the resource. Yeah, exactly, recursion, and you have the resources for next turn as well, which is what the grand aspect kind of
Pretty solid strategy, if
made
you say so
things
myself.
look solid.
Rocks, oh my god.
For the other monsters, this is pretty self-explanatory, along with 2 suppliers.
Only 2?
I mean, Monster Negation is too good. Yeah, I mean, Supplier is a great card, but the problem is that he's kind of like Isolde's first effect. Like, just search a monster, but then it's useless because most of the time you already use your normal summon. And because this deck doesn't really combo that much, the free summon I felt like was kind of superfluous in most of the scenarios.
Actually,
I figured 2 was fine. And then for the hand traps, I played. Please don't judge me for playing different artworks. 3 Ash and 3 rolls.
Oh, the draw as well.
I'm a student, all right.
Oh my god.
What's important to note here is that I thought Drytrons would be I thought Dutch players would be good and play Drytrons, but I was wrong. There were 3 people in the entire event.
Yeah, just like everyone thought. Yeah.
Literally, yeah. So that was a miss, but it's cool. This one's a fire, so it kind of goes well with the Adamancipator Fire Synchro, and this one is a wind, so I can DD Crow with a Raptite. It's pretty nice.
Right, pretty solid.
But that's it for the monsters. Haha. Yeah, 3 signs, self-explanatory. But now for the other Adamancipator cards no one know about. Holy goddamn shit! This card is amazing. Adamancipator Friends.
Okay, so
actually
explain what it does, because I'm sure people will not know.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, right? Like, I just went to Doombook and searched Adamancipator. I was like, this is kind of cool. Now, what it does is that it excavates the top 5 cards of a deck, plus an extra card for each rock type you control. And then what it does is then you just add to your hand a rock type monster you choose with level less than the cards you excavated. So basically what it does is it digs into your deck so you can like actually find your good names a lot easier. So basically what it does is skyrockets the consistency. You might ask yourself, why doesn't everyone play this? Well, because they've got really shitty restrictions saying that for the rest of the turn, you can only special on rock type monsters.
Okay, so that's the reason why it doesn't see play. But in this deck, it's perfect.
It's perfect because you like the synchro. The Adamancipator synchro is good enough in their own regards as long as it's got the corresponding attributes in gray. Because all 3 of them is one form of disruption. You got a Dita Crow, you got Korkamir Guardian, you also got like a monster negate, and Dragon is a spell negate. So I've always found use for it, and it's not a hard one per turn. You can just if you open multiple, you can dig even more. Yeah.
Yo, that's pretty good.
I love it. And because I don't play prank hits, I can allow myself to actually boost my consistency even more and
nice
play 3 desires. And then the one-offs that people will accuse me for stacking in remote duels. Nice. Know how it is.
Nice. Why? I have a lot of players from Groningen on my in the local, and we have built decks with them before. And we have the awkward trend that all of them are maining Harpy's Feather Duster, no matter if the deck is going first or going second. Why are you guys specifically all playing it in the main?
I had no idea that the other Groningen guys were doing it, to be honest.
No, literally.
But my reasoning was pretty funny, though. I am kind of iffy on this, to be honest. It's definitely one of the first contenders to go out of this deck. But what I figured was that I felt like I needed something going second against trap decks. Because if I lost the die roll, it would be good against that. Because I basically against trap decks, I basically only have as going second cards, I basically only have Ash and a Droll. I do play traps, right? So I figured I wanted like something extra which could be used against something that's not combo.
Okay.
I don't feel like I played against enough trap decks for this to be useful.
Just like a backup strategy,
Exactly.
It
As
makes sense.
I am actually pretty iffy about it. But now for the actual traps, which I do play quite a few of. I just play Solemn Judgment because I mean I wanted traps because I wanted a backup plan in case I know someone monster they ash it. So this is like the best generic trap I could think of.
Yeah, this is one of the best, if not the best.
I'll do like this card as well. Holy shit, Rivalry Warlords. This is basically, I don't really combo. So if I don't have this, or if I don't have, this is like the best I can have against combo basically, because otherwise it would be blown out. Because it hits most combo decks of the format, Virtual World, Drytrons, Prank Kids, etc., etc. It's not that good against control, obviously, but it really does put in work, and it does not affect me because I am not using a lot of different types of my extra deck. Definitely on my main deck.
Rock.
It's all rock, baby. Rock hard. Last card is kind of one I am like one part of me wants to play 3 and one part wants to play 0. Is Adamancipator Relief. Basically, it's an E-Curse attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You tribute any number of Adamancipator monsters and then pop the same amount of tribute +1. So what's nice about it is that it's kind of searchable with Leonite, the Synchro. Because if I one thing is I can add it to my hand with this effect, right? But also if I special summon the Fire Crystal, I can use it to stack this one to the top of the deck from grave, and then excavate with this one to add to my hand. Then on their turn, I can use it to revive a crystal, and then use it to pop 2 cards for free, basically.
Nice. Okay. I like it.
That is it for the main deck.
All right. Then one of the cards that was quite popular this format as well is Solemn Strike. But why did you choose to play Judgment over Strike?
Originally, I did play Strike, actually. But I actually found out, I did notice that I felt like it was quite often blown out by a lot of people were making a lot of removal. Because in the initial, I initially made this, I played Strike. People somehow kept making, what's that card called?
What does it do?
One that's the one that destroys monsters or spell traps.
Lightning Storm.
Yes, goddamn. That's why, because I didn't want to side Judgment or Strike, right? I wanted to have it in the main deck. And when people saw the traps, they would usually side that card of Emily going second. And I would keep the traps in naturally. And then in that case, Strike wouldn't do anything. Because Judgment definitely would. So I would say Strike is a better card in game 1, but Judgment's better game 2 and 3. In that sense. And that's why then I chase for Judgment. Because this deck doesn't have a lot of negation. Because only thing that can stop Lightning Storm is this guy. People usually also side Droplet, and it's not always you get a Water and Gray first turn. So that's why I opted for the Judgments.
Okay, makes sense.
Now for the extra deck. Because I grind a lot, I actually do play 2 Leonites.
Okay.
Because he's actually more important than Raptide in many cases, because he does add the good spell and traps. And what's even more important is he doesn't lose to Nibiru. I can just make this guy on 4 summons and then I won't have to worry about getting blown out. And on the next turn, I then can try and push for game if I then get the Guardian. Because what's important is that as long as I keep my resources going, I won't get blown out by the opponents. So I felt like 2 came up quite a lot because you need a Fire and Grave to recycle in. And the other 2 Synchros are the other 2 Adamancipator Synchros. Really good. You don't need more because you can recycle them with the crystals. Then I played Crystal Wing. I didn't play Savage because this deck doesn't link summon that much. So I figured this would be the second best option for level 8.
Yep.
For the fiber target, I play Shooting Riser Dragon. Now, the reason I play this for fiber target is because he basically combos super well with Leonite. Because when he's summoned, he Foolish Barrels a monster, and then his level is decreased by the level of the monster sent.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I would send Ash, making him level 4.
Mm-hmm.
Ash is a 5, so now this guy's live.
Okay.
I can special summon something back. Then from there, I have 2 options. Level 4, so I can special summon level 4 back, and then make a Dragite for a spell and trap negate if I have a spell, if I have a Water in the Grave. But most of the time, since it's level 4, I would synchro these 2 to make a Satellite Warrior, and then pop back, and then use that as a disruption to pop 2 cards.
I am sitting here like literally face palming, but it's so cool. I really like this.
It comes up way more often than you would think.
I can honestly imagine that. I can. Oh my god, that's so cool. All right.
And then for the rank 4s, I play Gallant Granite with self-explanatory. Yeah, a beautiful part of this deck is that you have so much free space in the extra deck. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't.
So you can play like Abyss Dweller.
Yeah.
Exactly. Abyss Dweller for the Drytrons. I can play Tornado Dragon against Eldritch, so I don't get blown up by Conquistador. And even better, people don't expect this. But if I make a Granite and I just attack, if it's to overlay for Zeus, people don't see that coming.
Bro, you have
and then it's too late.
2 different rarities Ash, 2 different rarities draw Zeus. Okay, cool. Nice.
Oh, it gets better. It's wait until we get to the side deck. Oh boy,
god.
That's money.
Oh my god.
Right. Yeah, I do that. And then for the links, National play Fiber. I don't make it that often because like I don't play Parallax Seas, right? So it's kind of just yes, special summon as tuner, but then I actually need level 4 to continue. So most of the time it's actually just kind of like used to link climb into access code. And the last card I play is Almirage. This is mostly for the reason because I play
Signs?
Yeah, exactly. It's for the awkward hands where I have like the Water Crystal and Signs. Then I can normal summon this guy, make an Almirage, summon him back, stack a Seeker or Researcher, and then use it to draw it, and then special summon it. And then in that sense, I can actually get going because then I actually have a free Fiber here and a free level 6 Synchro, regardless if I miss or hit with Excavate.
Okay, yeah, that's it. In all honest opinion, it makes sense, really.
I guess that's a good way of putting it. But that's extra deck.
All right. So the spice.
Yeah, and I would say the side deck is the least spicy part because I would say everything makes sense.
It's also very hard to top that main deck.
Exactly. 3 nibs, Lancias. Okay, I have 2 shitty kaijus instead of 2 good ones, but it's 2 kaijus. Disregard like their high levels. It's just 2 kaijus. Money. Good spice. And finally, Red Reboot. I don't think any of this merits
you have
attention,
the card
to
and
be
you
honest.
Didn't know the name?
Oh, because I don't know what's going on with my brain.
All right.
I think it's because I've been studying all day. I have exams about 9 a.m.
You have exams, it's fine. I will allow it. But no, it looks
that's the 3rd time I say it. Rock solid.
Rock solid.
Lamau, what a comedian.
It's such a different deck than everything I am used to. So it kind of like goes into the principles that I have about Adamancipator, but like your deck building, your theory, it makes sense. I'm not sure if it's like correct or the best list, but it really looks like a well thought of strategy, and it all makes sense. The 2 Leonite make sense, and the X, they make sense in a deck with a style like this, and it is rock solid actually.
I'm happy to hear that. It can sound convincing.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to add to that, or?
I guess shoutouts.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to Marijn van. God, I suck at Dutch names. Tatsym, because he was basically one of the most successful Dutch players of the event, topping both the giant card and the main event, doing better than me in both, with 2 different decks, both being rogue. Like, what the hell?
Yo, just rogue it up.
Right? Gotta respect the drip. Also, shout out to Sophronia people. That includes Erwin Dijkstra for getting top 8 with a deck he basically did 5 minutes before the event. And Brio Closter for actually thinking that prank kids at Emancipators somehow was a better idea than playing, wacky control.
Imagine.
All right, what the hell? I guess that's it for me.
All right. So yeah, shoutouts to the Groningen gang. They are so cool. every time I play them at locals, it's like hilarious. So yeah, thank you for the quick feature, and good luck with your exam tomorrow.
Thanks, man. I need it. Have a good one.
Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.